Hello everyone, welcome to 30 Minutes Learning. Today we're going to discuss about how to use Ajax in UI5. Okay, let's go to web ID and create a new project for this Ajax call testing. New and project from template. Select that SAP UI5 application. Click next and our project name Ajax and namespace name dev and click next and finish. For testing Ajax call, we're going to use that COVID-19 endpoint. So it's completely free endpoint. You can use it yourself to test Ajax call. I give that link in my description. You can check that COVID-19 API endpoint. Okay, let's go to our project and expand our web app folder. Inside view, we're going to create a new button for testing Ajax call. So button text get data. Okay, so I'm going to add one event called press on press. Okay, so in this on press we're going to add one new function in the controller file. So here I'm going to add one function. So in the function I'm going to add a Ajax call. Okay, so jQuery dot Ajax and first object it's method. So method we're going to use that get method and we're going to use URL. So URL it's a endpoint. Just click this try now. You see this is the endpoint. Our testing. Give that endpoint here, and the next one success. Success it's a function. It return once that endpoint it successfully reached and it retrieve that data. Okay, so data. Next one error. So error also one function. So error return that error data. So console.log error. So we print that data also console.log data. Okay, we created one button and this button we just adding a one new function, and inside the function we write that Ajax call. Okay, let's go to test our project. Click that project and run that application. Select that index.html file and click OK. Okay, just click that F12 for developer console. Click that console tab and clear everything. Then press get data. Now you see we have that one new value. If we expand this object, you can get global countries. So this value we fetch from COVID-19 application. So this response only we get here. Okay, now we get that response. So next step what we're going to do, we're going to create a one new table and we're going to bind this data. Okay, let's go to create a new table, right? So go to view.xml file and we're going to create table inside column. So columns caps inside column, and we need to tell that label text. So what are the items we're going to display? We're going to check that country inside, okay, country, and new confirmed, okay, country, total confirm, total death, and total recover. These four columns we're going to display. It's for testing, I just take a 4 columns. Okay, I just duplicate for speed up, then go to total new total confirmed. Okay, country, total confirmed, and total death. Next one, total recover. Okay, that's all. Then refresh our application. We're going to test our front end is working or not. Column, okay, I think it's a columns is mismatching. Test table in that SDK documentation. Click that M under table and check that aggregation columns. Okay, small letters columns, and run again. Great. Now we get that response and it will work now. Okay, then click the show borrowed aggregation. We get some more aggregation for binding this table. So next important thing, we need item aggregation. So here I'm just doing items. So in this item we're going to use list item base aggregation. Then we're going to implement any one of them in the subclasses. So now I'm going to take column list item. Okay, in that column list item, this aggregation cells default aggregation. Okay, so next core SAPUI.core control. So core control related all components we can use inside the cells. For display I'm going to use text aggregation. So text property called text. Here we can give that value, right? Duplicate this line using shortcut Control Shift D 3 times, then 4 lines it will duplicate here. Okay, next we need to bind our data to this view. So for binding data we need to follow 3 steps. I'm going to tell you what are the steps we need to follow. So step 1, define model. Okay, next step 2, we need to load or set data to model. Okay, then step 3, model set to view. We have that view called view1, right? So this view we going to bind our model. Okay, so in this model I'm going to use JSON model. If you don't know about JSON model how to use, just go through this documentation, SDK documentation. Okay, then give that JSON, and you can see that model under JSON. You see JSON model. Just look at this one. This model only we're going to use. Okay, so first step, model definition. Okay, where model equal to new sap.ui5.model.json model. Okay, so inside the model, once the model defined, then we need to load data. model dot set data. You can set some information, set data. For example, I can bind something, column and value, and column 2 and value 2. So like this we can set or load data. Okay, so next step, we need to assign this model to our view. So we're going to use this dot get view dot set model. So model model our name, so we can give that model like this. If you give that model in this way, then it's a default binding, default model it will assign to your project. If you don't want to use the default model, you can give your own model name. For example, COVID, you can give anything, any name. Okay, this is the steps we need to follow. Okay, so you understand how to bind the model. Okay, we can use this model directly in this way for, using Ajax call. It's little bit problem creation, because data we can to process outside the Ajax call. Okay, you can use callback to get outside data, or promise we can use, but this is a simple Ajax call. I'm going to explain to you, so you don't need to complex anymore. That's why we can to access data outside, so we can to bind our data in this way. Okay, so I'm going to just add value inside the success. So success function, it return the data. So this data we have, so directly we can assign this data to model, and I can directly assign this model to view. Okay, so in this way we can bind our data to our view. Here also we have one problem. what I'm telling problem, we want to access this inside the Ajax call, because Ajax function having that own this object. So we want to access outside the onPress event this. So how to resolve this issue? We can use var that is equal to this, and that we need to assign inside the function. So now that represent outside the function this. So this onPress function, this object, it will represent to that function inside the Ajax call. Okay, so next step, we need to assign this model to our table. So I'm going to add items COVID-19. Okay, we need to use the curly braces, then only need to tell that name, model name, then we need to use that greater than symbol, and forward slash, so what name we going to use? Countries. Okay, so country, then we just call that model name and greater than symbol. After that you need to tell column name, which column you need to bind here. So I'm going to bind country. I just duplicate these lines, 4 lines. Okay, total confirm, total death, total recovered. Okay, that's all guys. We're going to test our application now. Just refresh. Okay, it's list item, direct child without default aggregation. Okay, I get it why it's happening. Item inside, we can use that column items. We don't need to tell list base item. Refresh. Okay, then click get data. Here we go, we get that response. So like this we can add more columns. We have remaining how many columns we have. Just I going to console again, run. We have other 6 to 7 columns. So you can bind yourself to test your Ajax call. Okay, so next, what problem you can face? I thought that limitation of binding numbers. For example, if you see this country is having the 248 records. Okay, it's split into 3 objects, 100 each, 100. Okay, so in that first object we have that 99 array records. Okay, you see that country name Hungary, so it will stop here. So default limitation is 100 for binding this JSON model. Okay, how we can to access more data? It's very simple. You just go through this document JSON model, and you can see set limit size. So limit size not there, so just check that parent. Okay, parent control extend, check here, here also not there, check parent again, check set size limits. Okay, set size limit. If you see, the default size limit for this model is 100, that's why it's stopped in the 100th records. So you can increase this size limit. So here we need to add one more method for our model dot size limit, and actually you don't know how much record it will return. Now you can generally give that 500, then 500 record it will display for next time. But if you don't know how much record it will return in future, so how we can solve this issue? Just take the length of the data, okay, then that length we can bind here. Var record length is equal to data dot then next we're going to countries. Okay, countries dot length. Okay, so then this length we're going to assign here. This is JavaScript function I'm using to get the length. I put breakpoint, I will explain you. So debugger I put here and refresh again. Clear our console, then click get data. It will reach debugger. Okay, then data, go to console, data dot countries dot length. Now we get the 248. Okay, this length we're going to bind here. So we already take that REC length, so this length we bind here in the set size limit. So 248 it will support. Just run. For debugger run, press F8 or click that above button. Now if you see the last record, up to 248 record it will display here. Okay, that's all guys. Today class is completed. Do you think this video useful for you? Then please write your comments, and don't forget to subscribe my channel and make sure to click bell icon and turn on the notification for my future videos. Thank you. Bye.